Luke Humphries was a roofer from Newbury with a world-class dart arm and crippling anxiety. In April 2019, he stood just one leg from victory, then froze, watched by thousands as panic attacks took everything. The medication that could have saved him was banned by his own sport. How do you win a world title when the one drug that works is forbidden? The answer starts decades earlier. Luke Humphries was born on February 11, 1995 in Newbury, Berkshire. Before the world knew his name, he spent 6 years working as a roofer, side by side with his father Mark. Mark was not just a boss, he was a county darts player, the one who first handed Luke a dart and called him Leeds United Kings of Europe, a nod to the family's football loyalties and the dreams he had for his son. Most days started early, climbing up onto roofs in the cold, then finishing with long evenings at the local darts league. For Luke, the routine was simple: work, practice, repeat. Darts was a passion, but it was not a career yet. That changed in 2017. At just 22, Luke stormed through the PDC Development Tour, winning 5 titles in a single year. That run earned him a coveted tour card, the ticket to compete against the best in the world. The breakthrough kept coming. At the 2019 World Championship, Luke stunned everyone by beating the defending champion Rob Cross and reaching the quarterfinals. Later that year, he became the oldest winner of the PDC World Youth Championship, shutting out Karel Sedlacek 6-0 in the final. On the outside, he looked like darts' next big star, confident, calm, and natural on stage. But away from the cameras, something was starting to crack. The pressure, the crowds, the expectation. They did not just fuel his ambition. They sparked something else. Subtle at first, but impossible to ignore. By December 2017, after beating Phil Taylor, Luke woke at 5 a.m. with worrying heart sensations. Clinically, he was fine, but the worry grew into an obsession. He began constantly checking whether his heart was beating properly. Nights and practice sessions carried an edge. The symptoms would escalate into heart palpitations and then into panic attacks. This was the beginning of a struggle with anxiety that would shadow him for years. The next turning point came in April 2019 at the German Darts Open, when he was 5-2 up versus James Wade, and everything fell apart on stage. April 2019 at the German Darts Open. Luke Humphries stepped up to the Oche, 5-2 ahead against James Wade, one leg away from a statement win. Under the glare of the lights, with cameras capturing every dart, something inside him snapped. A wave of anxiety hit so hard he could not move. Hands that had just thrown with confidence now felt frozen. The crowd buzzed, but Luke was locked inside his own body, fighting for air, heart pounding, mind racing. Later he said that he had a bad anxiety attack on stage and was immobilized. The scoreboard kept ticking. Wade clawed back one leg, then another. Luke tried to focus, but the panic would not let go. Each throw became heavier. The match slipped away, 4 legs in a row. From 5-2 up, he lost 6-5. The cameras caught every moment. Luke's face was tight with distress, his rhythm broken, the wind gone. Thousands watched as the game unraveled, but nobody could see the battle raging inside. Afterwards, in a quiet interview, Luke's voice was flat. He said he had no idea how he was able to even play. He said he would rather go back to working as a roofer than live like that. For the first time, his private struggle was out in the open. The attack had not just cost him a match, it threatened to end his career. Alone under the lights, with nowhere to hide, Luke Humphries faced the reality that darts might be slipping away from him. Luke did not waste time searching for answers. After the German Darts Open collapse, he turned to professionals, therapists, hypnotherapists, and a psychiatrist, trying to get a grip on the panic that had made him freeze in front of thousands. One solution kept coming up: beta blockers, and in particular propranolol, a medication used by musicians and public speakers for stage fright. It promised to calm a racing heart and steady trembling hands. For most people, it is a routine prescription, but in professional darts, it was a red line. The Darts Regulation Authority bans beta blockers outright under Section S5 of its anti-doping rules. The official reason was to keep the sport clean. Even though propranolol does not boost skill, it is classified as a performance aid because it reduces the physical symptoms that can make or break a throw. Luke faced a choice: keep playing and battle every panic attack alone, or walk away from the game he had worked his whole life to reach. He explained that it was hard to take medication while playing darts because most things were banned. In May 2019, the pressure nearly broke him. He seriously considered quitting. The system that was supposed to protect players left him stranded, forced to find another way or give up the dream entirely. March 2020 brought silence to the darting world. Tournaments vanished overnight. For Luke Humphries, the pause arrived at rock bottom. 4 stone overweight, drained, and certain his health had to come first. The dartboard in the garage gathered dust while the world stood still. But quitting never sat right with his parents. Mark and his mum called daily, urging him to try everything before walking away. So Luke made a promise: change everything or leave the game behind for good. He started with an exercise bike, pedaling through the anxiety that once froze him on stage. Fast food disappeared from his diet, swapped for home-cooked meals and discipline. Each morning he logged his rides and tracked his weight, determined to reclaim control. By early 2021, the scales showed a 4 stone loss, 56 pounds gone, replaced by energy and focus. The transformation was not just physical. With every ride, the panic loosened its grip. The anxiety never vanished, but it became something Luke could manage. The lockdown forced him to rebuild from scratch, forging a new path without medication or shortcuts. Just sweat, stubbornness, and the voices of his family echoing in his ear. Have you ever needed mental health medication, but could not access it due to work rules, insurance, or stigma? How did you cope? Share your story. I want to hear what helped you. When the Professional Darts Corporation Tour resumed in 2021, Luke Humphries stepped onto the stage looking like a different man. 4 stone lighter, sharper, and with a new sense of purpose. He powered through the UK Open, taking out Michael van Gerwen in the semi-final before facing James Wade in the final. The scoreboard read 11-5 in Wade's favour at the end, but Luke had announced himself as a force at the very top level. The following year, 2022, he toured through the European Tour, capturing 4 titles and dominating the German Darts Grand Prix. In Munich, he dismantled Michael van Gerwen 7-0 in the semi-final, then swept Martin Lukeman 8-2 in the final. Commentators and rivals started to see him differently, not just as a survivor, but as a real contender, thriving on the biggest stages without the help of banned medication, and building momentum for something even bigger. October 2023, Leicester. Luke Humphries lifted his first major trophy at the World Grand Prix, beating Gerwyn Price 5-2 in the final. The win set off a chain reaction. In November, he stormed through the Grand Slam of darts, taking down Rob Cross 16-8 to claim his second major in as many months. The momentum did not stop there. At the Players' Championship Finals, Humphries edged out Michael van Gerwen 11-9 in a tense showdown, sealing 3 major titles in just 10 weeks. Match after match, the streak grew. 19 straight victories against the world's best. Commentators called him untouchable. Every walk-on, every high-pressure checkout, he delivered. By December, Luke was not just the man in form, he was the man everyone feared. All eyes turned to Alexandra Palace, where a new world champion was about to be crowned. January 3rd, 2024. Alexandra Palace crackled with anticipation. On one side, Luke Humphries, the man who had rebuilt himself from the ground up. On the other, Luke Littler, a 16-year-old prodigy who had taken the tournament by storm. The final swung back and forth, Littler edging ahead 5-4 as the tension reached its peak. Humphries steadied his breath, refusing to let panic dictate the outcome. He reeled off 5 straight sets, storming back to claim the title 7-4. With the last dart, the weight of years lifted. Humphries became world champion, and he pocketed £500,000 and claimed the world #1 ranking. Family and friends swarmed the stage, the Sid Waddle Trophy glinting in his hands. In interviews, he admitted the anxiety never left him, not even in the final. But this time, it could not stop him. Right now, professional darts still bans medications proven to help players survive anxiety on stage. As more athletes speak out, the question shifts from performance to well-being. How many champions are sidelined, not by rivals but by the rules meant to protect them? Share your experience below.